a kingdom in chaos, a throne stolen, a battle between gods that shook the heavens and the earth itself. In the heart of ancient Egypt, a legendary war broke out, a war that would decide the fate of the gods and humans alike. The villain, the god of chaos and destruction, Seth. The hero, a young warrior destined to restore balance, Horus. But this was no ordinary battle. It was a battle of power, deception, and betrayal. And the throne of Egypt was the ultimate prize. Egypt was once ruled by a just and noble king, Osiris, the god of life and fertility. Under his rule, the land prospered, the Nile flowed abundantly, and the people lived in harmony. But his brother Seth was not pleased. He craved power, and he would stop at nothing to seize the throne. And so, he devised a wicked plan. Seth invited Osiris to a grand feast and presented a beautifully crafted coffin, saying, "Whoever fits perfectly inside this coffin shall have it as a gift." Osiris, trusting his brother, stepped inside. And in an instant, Seth slammed the lid shut, sealing it with magic and throwing it into the Nile. Osiris was gone. The throne was empty, and Seth declared himself the new ruler of Egypt. But the gods would not stay silent. The rightful heir to the throne, Horus, son of Osiris, was growing stronger, preparing for vengeance. Horus, the falcon-headed god, was still a child when his father was murdered. To protect him, his mother Isis hid him deep in the marshlands, where he trained in secret, preparing to challenge Seth. He grew into a powerful warrior, blessed by the gods with incredible speed, strength, and wisdom. But Seth was no ordinary opponent. He was the god of chaos, storms, and war. And so, the greatest battle in Egyptian mythology began. For 80 years, Horus and Seth fought in a series of legendary battles, each more intense than the last. In one battle, Horus transformed into a gigantic falcon, soaring above the battlefield, raining down divine arrows. In another, the two gods transformed into hippos and fought beneath the waters of the Nile for days, trying to drown each other. But the most famous battle of all? One night, Seth tore out Horus's left eye, shattering it into pieces. But the god Thoth, the keeper of wisdom, restored it, turning it into the legendary Eye of Horus, a symbol of protection and power. Despite Horus's victories, Seth refused to surrender. He used trickery, deceit, and brute force to hold on to the throne. The gods were divided, who truly deserved to rule Egypt. Frustrated by the endless war, the gods called for a divine trial. The great god Ra, the supreme ruler, would decide who would take the throne. Seth, cunning as always, declared, "Horus is too young and weak to rule. I am the strongest. Egypt needs a warrior." But Isis, the mother of Horus, had a plan. She transformed into a beautiful young woman and approached Seth, pretending to be a mortal widow. She wept and said, "O mighty Seth, my husband was killed, and his wicked brother has stolen his land. Will you not give justice to the rightful heir?" Without realizing it, Seth declared, "Of course, the son should inherit his father's land." With those words, Seth had unknowingly sealed his fate. The gods had heard his own admission. Horus was the rightful king. But Seth refused to accept the verdict. He challenged Horus to one final test, a race across the Nile on stone boats. The first to cross would claim the throne. Seth, using his trickery, built a boat out of solid rock, thinking it would be invincible. But Horus, using his intelligence, crafted a lightweight boat from wood and disguised it as stone. As the race began, Seth's boat sank instantly, while Horus glided effortlessly across the water. With that victory, Horus was finally crowned the rightful ruler of Egypt. Balance was restored, and the age of chaos was over, for now. But was the war truly over? Seth was not destroyed. Ra, valuing his power, allowed him to remain as the god of storms and deserts. And so, the battle between order and chaos continues, even to this day. Every time a storm rages over the desert, or a great conflict erupts, the struggle between Horus and Seth lives on. So the question remains, will order always triumph over chaos? Or will Seth return to claim the throne once more? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more epic mythology stories. Which myth should we cover next? Comment below. See you in the next adventure.